Yo, Chicago, if you ain't up on the Morning Riot.
Tony Sculfield in the building, the Morning Riot with Miss Jordin Sparks, the star of the movie Sparkle. I got a chance to see it yesterday. Great movie, great job. How did you feel about it?
Thank you. You know what, seeing it, it's bittersweet, obviously, because watching Whitney and you can you see how amazing she did and just how joyful she was, and how anointed she was. And then I have this overwhelming sense of pride because her family had said this was the happiest time of her life, one of the happiest times. And for all of us to be a part of that and being a part of, the last thing of her legacy, it gets overwhelming if I think about it too much. But then I'm also proud because I'm like, we did it. I was like, okay, I wasn't as bad as I thought I was.
You were great.
Thank you.
I saw a quote where you said that Whitney on the set actually was like a mother figure to all of the actresses. Like, what were some of the things that she did that you considered mother-like?
You know what? I think it was just her presence anyway. I mean, she'd been a mother for, I guess, Bobby Christina is 18 now, so she's been a mama for a while, and she just had that protective mama bear spirit about her. If I ever needed anything, she was like, Jordin needs a coat, she needs some tea. Like, she was just always there, and that was for everyone. Or, if I was crying still after they yelled cut because I couldn't get out of the emotion I was in, she'd be there rubbing my back, and she just wanted to get to know us, and this was supposed to be her moment, and she wanted to see us shine too.
Did she ever tell you, like she did in the movie, like, look, you got to go roll your hair and get in bed because you got to get a lot of rest and get up in the morning?
You know what? You know what happened? Okay, so she played gospel and Michael, all the time when she'd put her iPod on. And so when we would take a break, I'd put my iPod on, which has some songs with some explicit lyrics on it. And she would walk in and go, is that what I think it is? And I'd be like, sorry, I'm sorry. Let me change it or mute it. Exactly. And so I'd be like, just kidding. It's not what you thought it was. So it was very funny.
Talk about the 60s. You guys, of course, the movie was set in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
Talk about putting on those clothes, the wardrobes, the hairstyles. Was it like playing dress up a little bit?
It was. We played dress up every day, and I literally got to go back in time and live in the 60s for 2 months, which not a lot of people can say.
Right, you can say
it was so fun. And the other thing was, Motown started, it was in Detroit, and we got to film there. So being in the city where it actually was, you just felt the energy and the presence there. But for us, we would be listening to a CD, a Motown compilation of all the artists and hair and makeup done. And then, by the end of the CD, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, all right, the sisters are here. Like, we're ready. So it was really fun to be able to do that. I really enjoyed myself.
Talk about that time in black music. Do you think, as an artist, what would you think your career would have been like? Say that Jordin Sparks had come out in the 60s.
That's a really good question. Thank you. The new question. I'm so happy. You know what? I think
because it was a tough time, for
was.
African-American artists at that time.
It was, and it was a completely different time as well, just in terms of how artists were seen. Like, you really, really, really had to hit the pavement and grind, like going to radio station, physically handing them the copies, trying to get yourself in the paper and interviewed. And now, you could put yourself on YouTube and you're an instant star. You really, really had to work then. And, knowing and hearing the stories about Motown, I didn't get to visit the Motown Museum. Some of the other cast members got to go to Hitsville, but from what they told me, they were sweeping floors, they were doing everything and everybody on a tour bus. It wasn't the tour buses they have now. Yeah, it was like a bus with a seat and you were leaning your head in the corner, and it was a lot of hard work. And I also feel at the time, for people of color, obviously with the civil rights and everything, it was a little bit tougher to go and perform in front of some crowds and different things like that. But if I had come out then,
do you think you would have had what it takes?
I think so, yeah. I think I would have. I feel like that now, you just kind of have to have that drive and ambition, but it doesn't mean stepping on people. I think that's something that people forget, because the same people you see on the way up are the same people you're going to see on the way down.
Okay, now if you could play in a film that had a totally non-musical character, without entertainment, without music, what type of character would you think that you would play? If it was totally unrelated to music at all.
I would love to be a kick-ass action star. Sorry. Sorry. I would love to play just an action star, like just strong woman who's just kicking butt with all the guys, Like, I would love to do that. That would be so fun.
I can see you in that role. I can really see that. I hear that you do have a new movie coming out with Chicago's own Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
And Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
What's it like working with them, and what's the movie about?
It's good. It's called The Inevitable Defeat of Mr. and Pete. Jennifer and I actually, which is crazy, we don't have any scenes together, but I think when I go back to film, she'll be in prep, so I might be able to see her. But I've seen her before. She's such a sweetheart. And also George Tillman, he's also the director, and he's from here. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's an indie drama, and I play an Afro-Latina from the Bronx, and there's no music, so I'm just in that character now.
Oh, okay.
But it's a pretty gritty story, you know, about two boys and following them through the summer in the Bronx, them trying to survive.
And
your
mom goes to jail.
Yeah.
I think that's the premise of the movie.
Yeah, the mom goes to jail. So it's pretty crazy. You kind of go, is this ever going to get better? But I loved the script. So I just play this little Afro-Latina who tries to help them all the time, and I love it.
Final question. What was it like working with Mike Epps? And what was he like on the set when the cameras wasn't rolling?
Mike, what can I say about Mike? He is so crazy, but he kept everybody laughing. And you know, filming a movie, what I saw and learned, you know, it's really exhausting and you kind of fatigued, and Mike would just crack a joke and we'd all be like ready to do the scene then. But he's been very, very sweet, very kind. I really, really grew to love him, you know, filming. And I loved him before, watching him act the fool and be a comedian in all his movies. But I think people are going to be really surprised because the character he plays, he goes to this really dark place. And I remember walking off doing one of the scenes once and going, what a jerk. And then I was like, that wasn't him. That was him playing the character. And for him to do that just with us there, I feel like people are going to walk out of it going, wow, like that's a side they never thought that Mike could have. And I think he's going to do really well. He's great.
All right, cool.
Yo, weekdays starting at 5 a.m. only on GCI.